One thing I think that I'd want to learn more about that I don't think we touched on is my impression of United Parents is that you have your services and your direction that you provide for clients, but I think you're an excellent hub for me. I'm a parent. This is going on. I have no idea what to do or even what resources or what. And then you guys go, well, let's go, hey, okay, there's this for you. There's this for you. There's that for you. Am I right?
Right.
So you're kind of a guide through the maze that's out there.
Right.
And I think that story needs to be told. I think that makes it's kind of an unsung value maybe of what you do. So could you elaborate on that?
Sure. I think one of the most valuable things United Parents does is provide resources, natural resources. The systems are very complex, and there's tons and tons of law. Special ed, mental health, child family services, juvenile justice, all different laws, all different systems. And when you need help, whether it's a little bit of help or whether it's a lot of help, the outcome kind of depends on how you go about it. If you go to a surgeon, they're going to look at how to cut. Where if you go to a holistic practitioner, they're going to look at the whole person. I like to think of us as a whole person kind of concept. So you come to me and you ask me, you know what, this is what my child's going through right now. I'm going to ask you the age, the sex, the gender, what's going on, what's changed in the family. And we're going to start with the simplest solution first. And if that doesn't work, then we kind of move up the ranks. But the way that we kind of see it, and I think the way that we present it to most of our families, is there's a lot of really good intense services out there. So if that is what's needed, we can introduce you to them. Use them as you need to. Use them effectively. Take them seriously. But then there's all sorts of other things that can be used to help sustain that. There's practices called evidence-based. Those generally are done by licensed clinicians, psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, and that's can be fairly intense. So you go, or your child goes, they get that help, you go back home, your kid's back in school, what happens then? So a lot of what we do is we try to bridge that gap between that kind of clinical world and what goes on in the streets. As a result, we're always looking for the resources that are in your neighborhood, not mine, but your neighborhood. And if that means I go knock on some doors and talk to a local minister or a youth club, taekwondo place, karate, art, crafts, whatever it is, to try to find things that this family can do to A, get out of each other's hair, B, take that energy and channel it in a positive way. C, when I'm not there anymore, what are they going to do? We want that family staying together. So we're teaching them a process and we're introducing them to services within their neighborhood that will help keep them together. Sometimes just calling somebody and talking to somebody. You know, it's not a natural thing to call up your therapist and go, oh, I have a problem. Usually you call your best friend, you call your mom, your dad. But a lot of people, because they're used to the formal services, they expect formal services. So we're trying to kind of break that pattern a little bit and say, you know, that's great when you need it, but meantime, here's somebody right next door that you can talk to. Much more natural, common sense, available 24/7, and also, more importantly, gets us thinking as parents, okay, what should I do? What could I do? What was it that they said I could do? I can do this. And then I begin to do it. And it becomes a part of my habit, part of my parenting, and part of my recovery, if you will, to helping my family be better and better. All of our parent partners, everybody here, that's what they do. It's a big part of our job, is we're always staying on top of what services are funded, what services are out there, who they serve, are there restrictions on it. You don't have to be of a certain faith usually to take part in the youth group. You don't need to be generally a certain age to take part in other types of activities, and that's up to us and our parent partners to know that. And honestly, we talk to families 2-3 years later and they're still using those resources. And so it's like, wow, that's awesome. We're really pleased when they do that.
That's great.